With powerful storms such as Matthew, Joaquin, and Irma ripping through the Bahamas over the past 3 years, and Maria possibly on her way, the Bahamas, as a small island developing country, is hoping to get the attention of the world to climate change. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Thanks so much for tuning in. With one storm just passed and another one taking a direct aim at the southern Bahamas, the General Assembly of the United Nations this week couldn't have come at a better time. Leaders from the region are hoping to sensitize the world to the critical urgency in providing assistance for Caribbean nations. And as Clint Watson tells us tonight, this assistance and attention is even more important as the country witnesses the devastating effects that continue to worsen with natural disasters like hurricanes.
Do that coming straight.
The United Nations prepares to meet in General Assembly with heads of government this week, the issue of climate change will once again be a burning issue on the table. While major advancements and commitments by first world nations were made at the recent Climate Change Forum, COP21 agreement in Paris 2015, it appears things may have come to a standstill after major players like the now U.S. President and others who have expressed a view that climate change doesn't exist. CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. Keith Mitchell.
It's kind of surprising that anyone in any serious position can be talking about the fact that climate change is a hoax. You know, this is frightening because it's there. A practical demonstration is every single day is right in front of us. So clearly we will be, I know your Prime Minister, I myself and other colleagues, I know that is going to be the talking point.
Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis believes there couldn't be a better time for countries like the Bahamas to continue lobbying its case that our GDP per capita should not be the basis for whether we qualify for international funding.
Great discussion with the UN and other first world nations, and I hope they would see what we're talking about, because it is a serious problem, especially here in the Bahamas, where our GDP is greatly affected. We have areas like Life at Key, where they are the wealthy, and we would have areas like the inner city where high poverty level. And when you look on the balance of scale, then the whole salary scale tends to shift. That's a serious issue that we must look at, and I think we are getting nearer and nearer to convincing the first world nations that it's a matter that has to be addressed.
But it appears that success is being gained on this front. Secretary General of CARICOM, His Excellency Erwin LaRocque, spoke to the new development.
Japan no longer makes its aid conditional upon per capita income, and that is solely because of the advocacy that the Caribbean has been doing. When we met Prime Minister Abe in Trinidad and Tobago 2 years ago, he announced that. At a certain point in the administration of the United States, they were considering it. I don't know what the situation is now. And we are hearing more and more that others are considering it. But Japan has taken the lead. I want to commend them for that. That per capita income cannot be a basis for doing so. The Caribbean was very instrumental in Paris at the COP on getting the agreement. And we have been saying consistently that monies from the Climate Fund, the conditionalities, one has to look at that. Because we are the ones, as has been said, are the most badly affected. We're the most disaster-prone area in the world. So we're going to keep on advocating, and our voices will be heard in New York next.
The Bahamas will be represented at the United Nations by Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Darren Henfield. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.